Hi everyone, and welcome to episode number 210 of the Karen Knits podcast. My name is Karen, and I'm coming to you from South Central Pennsylvania, where I live, where I work, where I knit, and get into all kinds of other crafting shenanigans. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. It is Saturday, May the 4th, 2024, and it's a cloudy, dreary, rainy, cold, yuck day outside today. And unfortunately, I was out all morning. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for popping by to check out my channel. I hope you like it here and stick around and see what kind of shenanigans I get up to week by week. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another week to see what kind of shenanigans I've been up to and what I've done since I was last talking to you probably roughly a week ago. I'm so happy to have all of you here with me. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. It really does help my little channel. I'm trying to hit that threshold of 1,000 people. Haven't got there yet, but we're getting closer all the time. I'll eventually get there, I hope. That's just a little goal I have for myself. So, it's been a busy week. It's been a really busy week. The semester is done. Classes are done. Exams are done. Grading is done. Everything's been submitted. All the award things and all that stuff is done. Graduation was this morning. That's done. Other than one meeting I have on Tuesday at lunchtime, 11 to 12, I'm 100% done for the semester. And I am so ready for a break. I'm so ready for a break. But I'll natter more about some of that stuff towards the end. So this week I have frogged a project. I've started 2 new projects, and I have some progress on 2 other projects. So right now I have 4 whips on the go. That's almost a bit much for my liking, but we're gonna go with it. So we'll start out with the one I frogged. The 2-at-a-time toe-up sort of shorty socks that I was making with my Row 1 Minis subscription from, I believe it was the April box. I was getting most of the way done the foot and ready to start doing the gusset increasing, and I just wasn't happy with how it was turning out. The yarn is a little bit heavier. It's a nice yarn. I love the colors and I love the yarn. But for making socks, it was coming out just a little bit bigger than what I wanted. And I thought the socks are not going to fit me the way I want them to. So I thought instead of just forcing myself to continue on with it, I thought, just let it go. Just let it go. So I took the socks apart, balled up the yarn. It's back in a bag with the yarn that I have not used yet, and it will go into another project, a later project at a later time. I'm torn between, it's a toss-up whether I will do a Musselburgh hat with it, or if I'll make All of a Friend. Kind of leaning towards making All of a Friend. I really am leaning towards that. And I had also, and on the frogging theme, on my mitered square Coziest Memory cardigan, I had done 2 squares in the same yarn. And it's coming out a little bit bigger than the other squares, and I thought, I frogged those. I pulled those 2 squares out. So I have 2 less squares. I have fewer squares than when you saw it last. So I took 2 of the squares out and I've added 1 square, took away 2 and added 1 square. So I'm still behind. I still have less than when you last saw it. That's fine. I'm okay with frogging things that are not bringing me joy and that I just don't want to finish them. Just let it go. I'm okay with that. So that was my frogging exercises this week. 2 new cast-ons. One of them I have living in this little project bag. I got it on Etsy and I cannot remember who it was from. But in here I have the beginnings of my Musselburgh hat. Now this is using, right now it's just, there's not much to it yet. I've finished the crown increasing and I have a few rows done on just the straight knitting. But I love the way the yarn is looking. This is the yarn I dyed myself. So far it's mostly dark. It's getting a teeny bit lighter as we're going along. And I am really excited to see how this is going to continue to develop. I don't have much done yet, but it's a start. It's a teeny tiny little start. And I like it. I'm enjoying it. I didn't have to do anything. I ordered another pair of Chiaogu fixed circular needles with a shorter circumference. The one I was using was a 24 inch, 24 or 32. It was a bit too long. It was not quite long, and it wasn't quite long enough to do magic loop comfortably. It was fine for the magic loop early, but as I got to the full circumference, it wasn't quite enough to comfortably do magic loop on it. So I ordered a 16-inch set, and I've transferred over, and I'm settled onto the 16-inch. So that's my Musselburgh hat, and that's part of a little knit along that I've started. It began on the 1st of May. It'll run until the end of August. And it's the hashtag Musselburgh hat Musselburgh Cal 2024. I have a thread over on Ravelry where you can post pictures of your progress. I've got a couple people that have come in and joined me there, so that's wonderful. But I have started a little knit along with that. So if you'd like to join in, fantastic. Cast yourself on a Musselburgh hat and come join the little Musselburgh hat Cal party. And you have all summer to work on it. Mine, I don't think it'll take me all summer to make mine. I hope it doesn't. What I plan on doing is, that will be a nice small and mindless project to work on in the summer when it starts getting hotter. And I don't want a big chunk of fabric on my lap, or I don't want to be working with a big chunk of fabric. So I think that'll get a fair bit of work on hot days when I want something mindless and easy to work on. And I'm enjoying it so far. The cast on, I did the one where I followed a tutorial that Nitty Natty did on her channel, and where she put the cast on stitches, did them with a magic ring and did a crochet start, and then you transfer the stitches onto a needle or knitting needles and go from there. I did find the cast on and the first several rounds to be incredibly fiddly. But once that part's done, smooth sailing. And I'm at the point now where I'm just gonna go knitting around in circles and around and around and around in circles, and keep going until I will measure or weigh my yarn every once in a while and stop when I get to about the halfway point through the ball of yarn I have. And then I made a note of how many grams I used to do the increasing section on the crown, and then I'll continue knitting until I'm at the halfway point of my ball of yarn. Then I will keep knitting the body of the hat until I have roughly the same amount of grams left as what I used on the beginning half of the crown, and then I'll have that part available to do the decreasing half of the crown. I think that made sense, didn't it? I hope it made sense. Makes sense up in my little noggin. So, and I'm going in summer vacation mode, so I'm giving the noggin a break for a little bit. So that was my first cast on. I cast that on Wednesday, the 1st of May. And I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Right now, it's also my car knitting, although I do the majority of the driving, so it doesn't get a lot of knitting done in the car. Although yesterday and today, while I got to work early for grad today and for the awards thing, faculty lunch on Friday, and I was a little bit early, so I just sat in the parking lot for 10 minutes or so and did a bit of knitting while I was waiting. So I do take it with me and I get a little bit done here and there on it. But right now my focus is going to be pretty much all on Sock Madness 18 round 5. Round 5 is on the way. And this is what I have so far. I do mine 2 at a time in tandem. So I did the cuff on both, then I did a certain part of the leg on both, and now I'm doing the next portion of the leg on the first one, then I'll do the second one, then I'll do the next part of the leg on both, first on one, then on the other, then I'll get to the heel flap, all that good stuff. So this pattern is called Bibliophile's Mark Socks, and it's a pattern by Cynthia Hutner. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I hope I'm not butchering it too badly. When I first saw the pattern, I thought, wow, and I also thought, holy crap. I love the look of these socks, and then I thought, how? So you start out, you do a folded cuff, and then you switch and you start knitting flat. And once you get through the foot, you're going to pick up and you're going to add the bookmark along here. I will insert along here a picture of what the finished socks will look like. So for mine, the body of the sock is going to be in a bare yarn. The cuff and the toe are in this purpley blue tonal that I dyed a while back. I've had this for quite a while. And the bookmark is going to be in this bright pink that was one of the ones that I dyed. It was the yarn I used for one of the other socks in Sock Madness already. So the bookmark will be in the pink. And the other thing you do with this sock, if you can see along here, it's got what look like random purl and knit stitch sections. The really neat thing about these socks, and it took a little while for me to wrap my head around, both the bookmark and what they call texture. And what you do is you choose a selection of words. They can be gibberish, you can be numbers as well. It can be lines from a book, a poem, whatever. It can just be made up gibberish, whatever. You can just do like random word generation. And then what you do is you go through and you count on all of the words, you count the number of letters in a word, and you'll purl that number. And then the space between one word and the next one will be a knit stitch. So there's one knit for that space. If you have punctuation, like if you have like a word, then a comma and a space, and then the next word, it'll be knit 2. So the punctuation and the spaces are knit stitches. The number of letters in each word is the number of purl stitches you have. So one of the participants created a coding on Google just did a code where you can copy and paste your text in there, and it'll generate the text for, it'll say like knit 4 or purl 4, knit 1, purl 3, knit 1, purl 2, knit 1, purl 2, knit 1, so on. So then you just, when you do that row with the text in it on the socks, you just follow along with that. So while I was working on the cuffs, I was humming and hawing trying to decide. I did not know what text to use, whether I wanted gibberish, whether I wanted a specific poem, and then I couldn't think, well, what poem do I like or want? And then I saw someone had posted that they were thinking of 2 different passages in the Bible, and I thought, bingo, I know what I want. The text on mine is the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And it's the whole 23rd Psalm. And so I've converted that into my knits and purl stitches for the text. And when I get to the end of that one, I'm just going to start it again. And keep repeating it as many times as necessary to finish the first sock, and then start again for the second sock. So that's what I decided to use for my text on there. And I love it because the 23rd Psalm is, I know a lot of people think it's a funeral passage. I love that passage. It's a very reassuring passage for me, and I like it. So I want my socks to have the 23rd Psalm on them as the text. So I thought that was kind of I'm thankful to the person I saw who posted that they were thinking of using one or the other 2 possible passages from the Bible. The 23rd Psalm was not one of the ones they had selected. They had something in the Proverbs and something from John. But I like the 23rd Psalm. I thought, perfect. That's what the text on my socks are going to be. So they're moving along fairly quickly, but I have not had a lot of time to work on them. Once I'm done filming and editing today, I might have a nap. I think I will have a nap because I'm pooped. And then I'll get some knitting done this evening. And then tomorrow we have church in the morning, so I won't be home until probably about 1 or 2. I might have a nap tomorrow just because I'm on break now and I want a couple naps here and there, especially now if I'm tired, I want a nap. Anyway, so I'll probably have time to get a few more hours done today. Tomorrow I'm not sure how much I'll get, whether I knit from 4 till bedtime or if I can knit from about 2 till bedtime. We'll see. Monday, the hubby and I have a bunch of errands and things we need to get done, so my knitting time might be cut back a little bit then. Tuesday, other than that meeting I have from 11 to 12, ain't nobody better bother me on Tuesday. My team might be full by then, but I do want to finish these socks because I think they look really cool. So we'll see how much I can get done. We'll see if I can manage to make it through round 5 to get into round 6. That'll be a record for me. If I finish this one and advance to round 6, it'll be the first time I have made it to round 6. I don't think I've ever, I have to double check. I'm almost certain I've never made it into round 6. Only 7 people on each team will make it from round 5 to 6. So it's not many spots available on every team. No one on my team is finished yet. The pattern came out on, is it Thursday afternoon or was it Friday? I think it came out Thursday afternoon. Or was it Friday? I don't remember. Recently. It came out recently. So I'm excited to keep knitting on it because I'm really enjoying the knit so far. And I'm very curious to see how the joining is going to be when because basically when you do the bookmark, you're just going to be going that little strip, and it goes straight down for a while, and then it starts curving to the right and curving to the left, depending on whether it's the right or left foot. So the bookmark is going to go, and then it's going to angle around the sock. So when you do that section, the part that's open, you'll be knitting a certain number of stitches back and forth and just joining to either side of that the flat edges of what you've knit in the first part of the sock. And then you get down to doing the rest of the foot and the toe. So I'm curious, they're a fun sock. It really is a fun knit so far, so we'll see if I finish. Stick around, come back next week and see if I survived round 5, or if round 5 was the end for me. We shall find out. And my other progress, the other 2 projects I have, one of them is my Coziest Memory cardigan. And as I had said, as I mentioned earlier, I took 2 squares off. I had a square here, and there's a different one that was here. I frogged those because I wasn't happy with how the size was different than the others. So I went back and I've added 1 square in, and that's all the progress on my Coziest Memory. This will eventually be a cardigan. It is based on the pattern, the Coziest Memory blanket pattern by Kemper Ray, and I'm using my mostly I'm using my Row 1 mini yarns for this. I have a few of my own hand dyed in there, but so far it's mostly just my Row 1 minis. I am using the fingering weight yarn held double to make it a DK weight. And it's going to make for a wonderful, squishy, warm cardigan when it's done. And I'm excited to get it done. Although my progress might slow down a bit on this as we move into the hotter time of the year. I might slow it down a bit just because I find it tough to knit on big bulky things in the summertime when it's hot. I don't need any help heating myself up in the summertime. And working on a large project like that might have the effect of overheating me. My other project I have is my jelly roll blanket pattern that I'm doing up into a cardigan. And this one I'm also using mostly my own hand dyed yarns. I'm holding 2 strands of fingering weight double, again making it a nice DK weight. And this past week I added this entire 3rd column. So I'm just showing it from side to side. So starting with the pink, then the purple, yellow, eye-searing green. It is almost as bright as it looks on screen. And this light blue. So this will be the top of the the top of the sweater, and will be the part that fits along here, goes down the front. So once it's done, it's probably going to, it'll have like a little fold over like so to make the front of the cardigan. And I'll probably do one more across the front so that it covers my belly and my chest, and goes around to the side, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing about the armholes. I haven't quite decided and figured out how I'm going to do and manage the sleeves. I still have to kind of think about that and brainstorm that a little bit more. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work that. Whether I do it as just like a drop shoulder and then just do the sleeve straight from the arm, the shoulder, all the way down. I don't know. I don't know yet. Got one more round or one more length to do, and then I'll have to make a decision. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now my main priority, probably the only things I will be working on for the next week are going to be the bibliophile bibliophiles, sorry, I'm looking over at the name, bibliophiles mark socks. That's hard to spit out. So that's my highest priority, is to work on those so I can get them done and hopefully make it into round 6. If I need something for travel and something that's completely mindless knitting that I don't have to look at a pattern or anything, I will take my muscle bra hat, and then I can just continue just knit around in circles to my heart's content. But my main priority is the bibliophile socks. I'm just drinking a cup of what's now cold tea. It's not iced tea. It's just my morning tea that I didn't finish this morning that's now ice cold. So I guess it is iced tea. Just it's unsweet iced tea. Prep the natural way, I guess. So that's my knitting content. I have my row 1 minis for May. They've shipped. I got the shipping notification on Thursday, I think. So there's a craft fair market thing all along Main Street right now, so I keep getting distracted by people outside my window. Poor people that are trying to sell things out there. I don't think they got near the crowd of consumers out as they would have if it had been a nice day. And I typically miss it because it's typically on the same weekend as graduation, on the same Saturday as grad. So it runs all morning and for a couple hours. It's still going now, and it's 20 after 2 in the afternoon. It's still running, but I don't know how late it goes, and I'm too pooped to bother to go out now. I'm done with the day. And I'm peopled out. I'm an introvert. I am peopled out. I don't need to interact with any more people today, other than this is introvert friendly. So I can do this nice and quietly all by myself. So grad was today. That was a lot of fun. I got a picture I'll put in here of me and my regalia. I just clipped it from a picture that was taken. Somebody took a picture of myself, my colleague, and our handful of students that graduated this year. And I was on one end, she was on the other end, so I cut myself out of the picture to show you guys. So I'm not going to include any of our students in here. So grad was today. That was nice. I don't think I talked about this at the beginning, did I? If I did, truly I am an absent-minded professor. But I am so ready for a break. This past week we had we had a little reception for all the faculty and staff that are retiring or moving on to other positions and won't be here next year. We had that, then we had the faculty and staff lunch and faculty and staff awards. Then we had grad rehearsal yesterday, and then graduation ceremonies this morning. And what else was there this week? I got my hair cut on Tuesday. All of my grading is done and turned in and finished and over with. I have a meeting on Tuesday. Then once that's done, I'm in summer mode. I have some other school related things that I have to do, but it's on my own time, my own pace, and when I want to work on it. And otherwise, I don't know what else is new or exciting around here. Been kept pretty busy with end of year stuff, end of school year stuff. So all that does to settling now, and it's time to just kind of veg out and relax a bit. And I'm here for that. So this next week, the plan, my bibliophile socks and Musselburgh probably. Probably not much else. I will one day soon make all of a friend. Honest, sweetie, I will make you a friend one of these days soon. I will, I promise. I do want to make another emotional support chicken because it was a lot of fun. So I think that's about it. I'm starting to ramble. I'm tired. I'll get the editing done and then I'm gonna have a nap because I'm tired. Alrighty, I will let you go and I will see you guys again in a week. Alrighty, bye everyone.